Oh, hi there. It's great to have you back. How have you been? Well, I'm in this park enjoying the nice shade and this nice breeze as well. Also, I am about to eat this nice bowl of sinigang my mom cooked just for me. You know what? It's really hard to describe how perfect this park is for a picnic, especially with my mom's sinigang. So join me today as we learn more about descriptions. Let me guide you through the fascinating world of the descriptive essay and the definition essay. I am Teacher Kit, your virtual teacher for reading and writing. Last week, we learned how to start writing a narrative essay. We learned how to choose a compelling story based on personal experiences. We then learned how to create a thesis statement. We were introduced to the narrative arc, which became the basis for our outline. We then learned about conflict and climax in creating drama for our stories. Ultimately, we learned how to use transitions. For this episode, we'll give you tips in writing two essays, the description essay and the definition essay. Let's get started. The descriptive essay. In my opinion, my mom cooks the best sinigang. Delicious as always. I wish I could share this experience with all of you. Wait a minute, there's actually a way for writers to share their experience with readers. Descriptions. And I have just the thing to help you out. Descriptions is another way to develop paragraphs in your essay. Its purpose is to describe and clarify a subject, which could be a person, a location, an event, or an object. Effective descriptions are always immersive, meaning it allows your readers to experience what you are experiencing. Think of it as painting a mental picture in your reader's imagination. Choosing your subject. The first tip is to choose your subject that is familiar, personal, and has a deep emotional connection to you. Why? Well, the more familiar you are with your subject, the more you can describe it in great detail. Like this sinigang here. My mom would cook sinigang whenever I go home. So, sinigang has always reminded me of home. It has this deep emotional connection that I can easily write about. Here are some ideas to help you choose your subject. Describing a person. If you choose to describe a person, you may ask yourself the following questions. Who has been my biggest influence? Who inspires me the most? Who do I want to emulate? You may write about a family member or a close friend, a teacher, or even your favorite television actor or anime character. Describing a location. If you wish to describe a location, ask yourself the following questions. Where is my favorite vacation spot? Where is my favorite spot in the house? Where is the most exciting place I have ever been to? Write about places that are memorable to you. You may write about your previous classroom, your bedroom, the countryside, or your city. It is entirely up to you. Describing an event. If you choose to describe an event, ask yourself this question. What event had a strong emotional impact to me? You could write about an event or moment in your life when you felt the happiest, like winning a game of basketball or chess, or the saddest, like losing a loved one or a close friend. Describing an object.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
If you pick an object or possession to describe, you may pick something that has sentimental value, like your class shirt or a present someone gave you, or something useful, like your phone or your backpack. Remember, these are just ideas. You may pick any subject you wish to describe. Just remember, make sure your subject is familiar, personal, and has a deep emotional connection to you. Checkpoint! It's now your turn to pick a subject for your essay. Listed on your screen are the many options you may choose from. Let's start writing. Now that we know what to describe, let us now learn how to describe. There are two types of descriptions, objective descriptions and subjective descriptions. Let's look at how these two descriptions work. This is my mother. Her name is Bessie. Here are two descriptions of my mom. Bessie is a human female. She stands 5 feet 4 inches. She is teacher Kit's mother. She is an elementary school teacher. Here is the other description. My mom is a radiant bundle of smiles, crinkly eyes, and warm hugs. She smells like faint baby powder and lavender perfume. She wears her semi-curly hair in a ponytail using a sonrío.
Which of these sounds stiff or robotic? The first one or the second one?
Which one do you like better? The first sentence is an example of objective description. Notice that in an objective description, we describe the subject without any bias or preferences. The subject was described in a factual manner. Think of how a robot or a computer would describe my mom. Bessie is a human female. She stands 5 feet 4 inches. She is teacher Kit's mother. She is an elementary teacher. Objective description sounds too stiff and yes, robotic. If you want writing that is factual and without any bias, then you may use objective description. The second description is the complete opposite. This description is subjective. Subjective description requires the writer's personal opinions, impressions, preferences, and even imagination. Think of how I would personally describe my mom. For this episode, though, we will focus only on subjective description and how to use it to engage your readers. Descriptions, just like I've said earlier, should be immersive, meaning they should engage your reader's senses and emotions in creative and imaginative ways. That is why your teachers, writers, and all the authors in the world are telling you to show, don't tell. My mom's sinigang is delicious. What we perceive in this description is limited to only delicious, which is unclear because delicious to some may not be delicious to others. This is an example of telling. It doesn't offer much for imagination and is ineffective in painting a mental picture in our minds. What about this description? My mom's sinigang is a steamy swirl of tender pork cubes, inch-long string beans, and diamond slices of radish. The soup is warm, sour, and tangy. This time, we perceive a more accurate description of sinigang. We can also picture the ingredients, including the texture of the pork, the length of the string beans, the shape of the radish, as well as the temperature and the taste of the soup. This is an example of showing. So, which of these descriptions is better? Obviously, the second description, showing. In a descriptive essay, you are expected to show more than tell. Telling is a little boring and offers little in terms of engaging the senses. We can say that telling is bland. On the other hand, showing engages the senses and the imagination, allowing you to experience the subject even better. Showing is brilliant. Telling is bland. Showing is brilliant. It's time to learn how to turn your descriptions from bland to brilliant. This is Monasterio de Tarlac, one of my favorite places to visit here in the province of Tarlac. Have you been here before? You should come someday. In order for us to effectively show this place, we need to use a few description hacks. Description hack number 1, use sensory language. Sensory language refers to language used to engage the senses like the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, smell, touch, or taste. How does this work? Here we use a tale description of Monasterio de Tarlac. Monasterio de Tarlac is a beautiful place. The word beautiful in this description is abstract, meaning we have no concrete understanding of what beauty really means. Instead of using abstract details, use concrete details that you can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste to describe beauty. How does this work? Monasterio de Tarlac has green and lush mountains, especially during the rainy months. The breeze at the monasterio cools your skin and blows your hair. If you stand by the Christus statue, you will smell a faint hint of freshly cut grass. Looks great, right? Let's combine these sentences to show a description. Monasterio de Tarlac boasts of green and lush mountains. When you reach the top after a long ride, the breeze will cool your skin and will blow your hair. If you stand by the Christus statue, you will smell a faint hint of freshly cut grass. See? Bland to brilliant. Description hack number 2, elevate your vocabulary. Sometimes we use certain terms so much it makes our descriptions redundant. We use the same adjectives like good, bad, nice, okay, and meh for almost everything. How was your day? Good. How was the movie? Okay, meh, it's bland. Hack number 2 focuses on veering away from these tired adjectives and focusing on better adjectives to elevate your description. For example, this is a picture of the Capas National Shrine in Capas Tarlac, a memorial for Filipinos and Allied soldiers in the infamous Bataan Death March. This shrine is a majestic 73-meter obelisk inside a lush forest. What if somebody describes this shrine like this? Capas National Shrine is a nice place. Meh. Bland. I'm sure we can do so much better. The word nice is a meh adjective and does not give the beauty and majesty of the shrine justice. So, we'll be using our friendly thesaurus to help us elevate our description. A thesaurus is a useful reference that lists synonyms, related concepts, and even antonyms of word. This will give us a better description than just nice. Let's look it up. Oh, there it is. Apparently, nice here has several meanings. Let's pick a meaning that best describes the shrine. Oh, there you go. Under the definition, giving pleasure or contentment, synonyms of nice include agreeable, delightful, pleasant, enjoyable, gratifying, and inspiring. Wow, these are great alternatives for just nice. Let's pick some of these synonyms to replace nice in our sentence. The Capas National Shrine is a majestic and inspiring monument dedicated to Filipino and Allied soldiers who died at the Bataan Death March. This description sounds so much better. The words majestic and inspiring add a whole new dimension to this description. Bland to brilliant. Checkpoint! Get your pen and paper ready. Let's describe your house. Here is a bland description. Our house looks nice. Can you make this bland description brilliant? You can use the 2 description hacks we learned today. Description hack number 1, use sensory language. Description hack number 2, use elevated vocabulary. Enjoy writing! That was a nice picnic. Oh, sorry. I mean, that was a satisfying and a relaxing picnic. However, I have to go. I need to visit my mom and dad today. Oh, do you want to meet them? Come to my house and I'll show you. Welcome to my home sweet home. By the way, this is my family. This is my mom and my dad and my siblings. My mom and dad are my heroes. They have been examples for me and my siblings as well. Two of the traits that I admire in them are their kindness and humility. Kindness and humility, by the way, are great abstract concepts to define. This brings us to our next essay, the definition essay. So, what is a definition essay? A definition essay is a type of essay that provides concise and exact meanings to unfamiliar, technical, or abstract concepts. Basically, we take a concept or an idea, then explain it in ways that are specific, detailed, and easy to understand. Just like the description essay, the first step in writing a definition essay is to choose a subject. We have explained before that we need to choose a subject that is familiar and personal. Doing so will help us write about it in great detail. Also, make sure that the subject we chose can be easily researched, meaning it should have a good amount of credible sources you can refer to for further information. If not, you may have to reconsider your choice. You may choose abstract concepts like relationships about your family, or write anything about values, relevant or trending issues, or concrete terms, or even objects. You may also choose to write about emotions like fear or hope, peace, or even love. What? Now that you have a subject to define, let us learn the two ways of defining a term, denotation and connotation. First, let's define denotation. Denotation refers to the literal or dictionary meaning of a word. One way to define a term using denotation is to look up its meaning using a dictionary. You can use an actual dictionary or download a dictionary app in your phone. Let us look up family and face masks in our dictionary as subjects for our examples. Why? Because both family and face mask are important and relevant details to me. Let's define these terms. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines family as the basic unit in society, traditionally consisting of two parents rearing their children. Let's now look up the dictionary meaning of face mask. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a face mask refers to a protective mask covering the nose and mouth or nose and eyes. Another way to define using denotations is to look up a word's origins or etymology. The origin or etymology of a word is found in most printed and online dictionaries. In my dictionary app, the origin and etymology of family is at the end of the definition. Family comes from the Middle English family and the Latin word familia, meaning household. Let's include this information to our existing definition. Another way to define a term by denotation is to describe its purpose or function. You may look up the purpose of a term like face mask on an encyclopedia or a search engine. I found this information from the website of Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Let me add this to our face mask entry. Since there was no author, I included the name of the article, then the year published, at the end of the sentence. Remember to always cite your sources properly. Another way of describing a term is through connotation. Connotation is a definition based on a writer's personal experiences. It could be symbolic and could be different from culture to culture. To use connotation, ask yourself these questions. What experiences do I have about the term? How does this term make me feel? How does this term affect me personally? Let's apply the second question, how does this term make me feel, to the term family. Family invokes feelings of warmth, joy, comfort, and longing. Now, let's add these to our family definition. For the term face mask, let's apply the question, how does this term affect me personally? Wearing a face mask shows concern and respect for other people's safety. Let's add this to our existing definitions. There you go. Here are our completed paragraphs. Make sure to start your definitions with denotations, followed by connotations. Today we learned hacks and tips in writing your descriptive and definition essays. We learned how to choose a subject to describe and use description hacks to write immersive and elevated descriptions. We also learned how to choose a subject to define, then use denotation and connotation. I hope you learned something useful today. This is Teacher Kit, reminding you to keep reading, because a reader is a leader. Keep writing and you can change the world. Keep being awesome and tune in next time to Reading and Writing. Oh. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I'm at home. Oh, yeah, I bought your favorite pasalubong. Oh, see you. Gotta go, guys.